What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk a little bit about overstaying here in the Philippines. I'm also going to talk about an expat bounty hunter here in the Philippines. Got my bounty hunter glasses on. Overstaying here in the Philippines. What is that? It's when you overstay your visa and you don't renew your visa. When you arrive here in the Philippines, you will get a stamp in your passport. If you're coming here as a visitor, you'll get a visitor's visa stamp. It's good for 30 days. You can stay here in the Philippines up to 30 days, and then you have to leave. Now, I do know guys are getting onward tickets, and they want to stay longer than 30 days. They require you to show proof that you're going to leave the Philippines upon arriving. So yeah, you get that 30-day visa stamp, and then the guys that want to stay, what they do is they just stay. You have to extend your visa. I always say a week before your visa is ready to expire, get down to the Bureau of Immigrations, fill out the paperwork. It is so easy, very simple, and extend your visa. Costs money. Right now, I couldn't even tell you what it costs. If you want to know, I'm sure there's YouTube videos out there about the visa extensions and how much they cost. But yeah, make sure you get these visa extensions. You don't want to be behind on your visa extensions. Are they going to hunt you down? Are they going to throw you out of the Philippines because you're not caught up on your visas? They're not going to do that. You go to leave, you might even be able to leave. But if you return, they'll get you. Or no, I think if I'm not mistaken, when you go to the airport, they'll check. They'll check and they'll make you get your they'll make you pay for your extensions. I know that because I had a friend that had gone down, wanted to leave, and he didn't have his extension. He also didn't have his onward flight, or not his onward flight, but his exit clearance. If you're here over six months, you need an exit clearance to leave the Philippines. Another thing too, if you come into the Philippines and you're with your wife, your Filipino wife, or your Philippine husband, either or, they'll give you what's called a balikbayan stamp. And that stamp is good for a year. You can stay here in the Philippines for a year. You do not have to leave, you do not have to keep going down and extending. It's good for a year. What happens is, some people come here and say they come here and they have enough money just to kind of like live here or stay here. But they don't forget about the extras, like the extras visas that you need to pay to allow you to stay here legally. Here's an example. Here's a story. Let me tell you a story. I had a neighbor. The guy was like 80 years old when he came to the Philippines. He told me, he goes, I was on the flight when my divorce was being final. So he landed here. He was drawing a small pension, but the guy was a drinker. Drank. So he'd get his small pension, and then what happened is 3 weeks before he was ready to get his pension, he'd start borrowing money. So then when he got his pension for the month, he wound up paying people and back to drinking again, and just said, you know what, I'm not gonna bother with my visa extension. I don't know if he's still here or not. But yeah, things like that happen. People get consumed in what they're doing, and like I said, if you come here on a small pension, you have to budget. The guy was 80 years old. You would think at 80 years old, he'd be able to budget his money and be able to, pay his visas. But yeah, that guy, like I said, I don't know if he's still here or not. But like I said, here's the thing. Somebody sent me an article, and I'm going to read part of this article. It was an article that a subscriber sent me about a so-called bounty hunter wanting to turn in expat overstayers. You know what? You're a visitor. Why do you care what everybody else does? Let them. It's their own business. Why would someone take the time to want to turn in people? But I'm sure there's quite a few out there that they. I don't know why they would do it. I mean, maybe they watch too many Dog the Bounty Hunter videos and, they want to do it here. But anyways, this article's a little bit, it's a couple years old. But you know what? you know what I'll do? I'll put the link down below to this article. But yeah, I mean, people wanting to turn people in and stuff like that. You know what? You know what we call them people? Snitches. That's what I've grown up, been in, working in the jail system. They call those people snitches. They want to snitch on people. So anyways, the article that I'm going to, I'm just going to read some of it here. A person says, like I said, I'll put it in the link down below. A person says, I was scrolling through an immigration Facebook page when I read this post by, I'm not going to say his name, I'm just going to call him the snitch. Make sure he's not your friend. If you're an overstayer foreigner, he's pretty bold announcing his intentions on social media. Then the guy pasted what the person wrote to the Bureau of Immigration Republic of the Philippines. The snitch writes, with the new registration program, do I get paid if I turn in plenty of undocumented foreigners? Are there benefits, for examples, discounts, or extensions for me if I turn in per head? So he's bold about what he's doing. And here's the thing, I mean, why? Why? Why do you feel it's your job to turn in other expats? He's asking for benefits and discounts. So, I mean, does the guy need money? There's a lot of people here that, they'll do something like this for money. They're driven by money. They want to, they want, if they could turn somebody in and feel good about themselves and they get paid, they'll do it. And this guy's probably not the only one. Anyways, the Bureau of Immigration, Republic of the Philippines writes back, good afternoon, sir. The Philippines government would definitely be grateful of this information you will provide us. However, we cannot provide the other benefits you have mentioned. Thank you. The snitch writes back, I will try my best. Wow. Then I'm just going to read some of the, what some of the people in this group have, has said about it. While I do not like the idea of expats staying in the Philippines illegally, because it can often mean there might be other reasons for it, we all need to stick together as much as possible. So stay clear of this guy. I suspect those illegal staying expat days are numbered. Then he goes on to say, numbered. Anyways, when there may become time when expats are asked to ask for the visas or AR or the I-card in order to rent or transaction daily life in the Philippines. And I agree. They should. I mean, if an expat comes here and opens up a bank account, they should be able to show that they're up to date and current. So I do agree with some of these comments. Another guy I noticed, he wants money. Seems like he's been watching too many bounty hunting TV shows. Eventually, where does he see? Eventually, if you live somewhere beside the province or a small, less informed town, it will become harder for people to get away with being here illegally. And then he goes on to say this guy could be like a point man. Like, maybe the government here would be like, all right, let's let this guy do it. Let's get this guy to start this, or let's get people out there turning in illegals. Here's the thing. If you overstay, you can go down to the Bureau of Immigration. Don't feel like, if I go down, they're going to throw me out. They'll let you pay. They'll let you catch up. I mean, you're going to pay penalties, but they will let you catch up. Another guy says, I think the snitch is barking up the wrong tree because according to BI Facebook reports to the snitch, he will not be rewarded for his purpose services. It also states below, once a foreigner is detained for deportation, he may apply in other words, he may apply to update his status. Then another guy goes on to say, this guy reared his head up today after I posted this information on his site. I know he is a member of. He is quite proud of himself and claims to be a licensed bounty here in the Philippines. If you're a licensed bounty hunter, do you have a work permit? You need that work permit. So if you're saying you're a licensed bounty hunter and you're working here in the Philippines, I hope you have that work permit. So now, if you're claiming that and you're doing that, now you're working here illegally. He openly admits he feels it's his duty to hunt and turn in those who may be overstaying, paid or not. When the admin questioned his reason, he just said something to the effect, I have all the names now that I have been a member of several sites. Supposedly he's a disabled vet living in the Angeles City area who is getting his rocks off, targeting those for whatever reason, haven't been able to keep up with their visa requirements. So yeah, I mean, it does sound like he's, I think the problem is with tattling. It's not with staying in the country illegally. You're true. But anyways, like I said, I will post this down below, and this site, and you guys can read it. I mean, can't dispute anything in black and white. But anyways, like I said, guys, if you come here, you get behind, you can go to the BI office, work with them, and pay them. They're not going to throw you out. But just stay current. That's the thing. Stay current. Don't get behind. One more story before I leave. When we were down in Lutz province in Mindanao, when we first got here, I talked to I think he was an Australian fella. He was an older fella. And he was sick. And, I was talking to him about visa extensions and where to go in the area. And he said, I haven't done a visa extension in years and years and years. He goes, first of all, I'm too sick to go. And the guy was bedridden. And he said, second of all, I don't plan to leave the Philippines. I have no reason to leave the Philippines. I have nobody in Australia. My family is here. I've been here forever. I did at one point stay current on my visas. The man was dying. He said, I'm not going anywhere. He was in the province, like he was in a small barangay. Nobody's going to rush in there and, hey, you're overstaying your visa. Come on, let's go. The bounty hunter wasn't coming for him. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think what happens is some people just get kind of old and they know they're not leaving. They're staying here. They're not going anywhere. They have nowhere to go when they leave here. They're going to die here. They're way out in a province somewhere. And they just let it run. They just let the visa run out, Are they, like I said, I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's going to know. I mean, is it right? Is it wrong? But is it right for somebody to, snitch and rat on other expats? Come on, it's not for me to do. Now, other people, maybe they feel good about it. So anyways, I'm going to close with that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave them down below. Let me know what you think. And we'll talk to you guys later.